Whoa, man. Oh my goodness. Can you believe this? Skip Bayless, live on his show, stated that he felt that Jay-Z sold out. Do you know do you know how devastating that is? I don't believe you do. I don't believe you understand the magnitude of what I just said. Okay? Skip Bayless, a white man, stated on national television that he felt like a black man, Jay-Z, had sold out. Do you even know how embarrassing and how damaging like that is, and that no one is even talking about it? That's how crazy it is. I was like, wow, that's amazing. That just blew by everybody's that blew by everybody's radar. Nobody spoke on it. It just came and went. Uh-oh, I dropped my remote control on my hand. It came and went. No noise, no detractions, nothing. You know, this thing taught me a very valuable lesson. It taught me people respond to what they're told to respond to. And that's like everybody has like a battery chip in them now, like some type of remote control sensor that they only can respond to things that gravitate to them or when someone activates the button. So what's weird is the fact that that button should have been hit the moment Skip said that. But you know why there was no response? It's because the blacks felt the same way. It's crazy, isn't it? Like the brothers felt the same way. Now they tiptoed around this whole thing. They didn't even make this. This is the biggest story in the whole world this weekend. Biggest story, right? And the NFL doing a deal with Jay-Z was the biggest sports story ever. They put some Dallas Cowboy running back story as the opening story. It's like, are you serious? That's a joke. Then they touch on this for like 10 minutes and they dance around it with eggshells. Like, okay, we got to dance on eggshells around this thing and touch it for a little bit and made Eric Reed the big story more than Colin Kaepernick. Eric Reed versus Jay-Z. I'm like, there's no, no. This is about Colin Kaepernick. This is about him. This is about the movement that he started. Don't dump that on Eric Reed and just dance around. But at least they had the gall to touch it, but I don't think they did it in the right way. I mean, I haven't seen First Take, but I guarantee you Stephen A touched this a lot deeper than they did. Skip was kind of dancing around it, but I give him the credit for having the courage to go in on it, and actually having the gall to say, and this is his exact words. He said, I feel just a little bit that Jay-Z kinda sold out, sold out for the short term. So as he was looking at the bigger picture down the road. becoming an NFL owner. So he sold out for the short term. So he's saying, I think he did do the sellout move just so he could be in position to be an NFL owner. Because there's never been a black NFL owner. And he wants to be a majority stakeholder in an NFL team. So now that that's been, you know, put out in the public wind, the NFL is going to test to see how he gravitates and, navigate the waters of what's happening right now. Because normally what they would do, as Jay's been known for controversial things before, is ignore it. I'm too big to talk about it. It'll fade out in a couple of days. I'll do something generous and it would, bypass all this other stuff that people are talking about and the nonsense. And we'll move forward and then people will have other things to talk about. It's just that right now it's just a hot topic, so he's just gonna stand back and be Jay-Z about it. But for Skip to come out and point that out that Jay was a sellout, that he thought Jay was selling out, even though he explained it for the short term, for the bigger picture down the road, it's still a white guy calling a black guy a sellout on national TV, and nobody's talking about it. That's crazy. I'm like, we gotten to that point. People are like, Skip's right. They ain't looking at no short term. Brothers ain't thinking like that, man. Yeah, but for the short term, for the big, no, he sold us out. No good mother. They ain't got time to look at the whole picture and try to break it down. I was sitting there talking yesterday with frats and frat fraternity brothers, everything, and the attitude was the same all the way around the board. It was, man, Jay know he wrong for that, man. That's wrong. How you gonna play him like that? He played Cap. He knew Cap was. He's like, oh yeah, I can come in here and play this. He's smart. I give him that. But and these are people that ride with Jay. Like they ride with him. They make an excuse for Jay for every situation. These are people think he won the doggone thing with Ether. They think Super Ugly was the better record. Man, Super Ugly told him up. I'll be like, oh wow, yeah, you can't sit by me. This conversation ain't gonna go well for you at all. Then it goes into this situation, man, and we're sitting around talking about it as intelligent black human beings. You have people with MBAs, they CPAs. You got lawyers. You have doctors. You have all these different blacks who are very successful families, multimillionaires, sitting at this picnic, like this get together, at this one of the frat brothers' homes. We at the mini mansion and we're sitting there and we're having a good time. We got stone lions and artwork and all these things hanging around, and people start talking about what brothers need to do and what's the problem is and what Jay-Z and all these topics, and everybody's bringing up the fact, you see what the problem is? It's a black guy versus a black guy to go do a deal with the white guy. That's what it always comes down to. And that's what he said. Why does it always come like that? He said we got fraternities now, black fraternities, so that we get opportunities to our brothers out there in the field, give us a fair shake. It's like, okay, we gotta look out for the brother. Make sure he gets a fair shake and fair opportunity. He's like, we got all this going for us, and he's like, we don't get any credit for that. We've opened a lot of doors for a lot of, and this is different fraternities. He say, yeah, we look out for our fraternity frat brothers, our brothers out there. But we also look out for the brothers who even it who just black, period. We give them a fair shot. When before they wouldn't even gotten through past the application process. As soon as they checked that they was black, they would have threw their application in the trash. And he's like, we don't get credit for it, but it's cool. We don't want the credit. He's like, but there's people out here that's doing the groundwork. And guys like this come along and they just throw their name in lights and they're getting credit for stuff that they basically not really even doing and all the harm they doing to the communities. So we brought up the fact that like I educated them on the whole, Brooklyn Nets situation because they didn't know anything. Like one guy kind of heard about what they did over there in Brownsville, and once they built the stadium and they raised the prices and the cost of living, and all the people over there had to move, and Jay-Z was the face of it, and they stood behind Jay, like Jay's the face, and it was basically crippling to that neighborhood. Now it doesn't even look the same as it did the year before. They built the Nets moved in over in Brooklyn. It looks like an entirely different neighborhood, totally gentrified. So, and they did it fast. Now you have all these new situations and all these things that get to come back around. Like all the stuff you do in the dark keeps coming back to the light. So you see a scenario such as this and you go, oh wow, that's wrong how they did, dude. How they gonna do Jay like that? How they gonna do such and such like that? How they doing like what? I mean, the one guy who was the Jay apologist was there and was like, man, Jay's done a lot, man. Look what he did for me. Look what he's doing for that and that. We still want to judge him for being this person and all that. I don't care what he did, man. He got the dude out of jail. Nobody else did nothing. He was there with Trayvon Martin's moms and stuff and helping them out, getting, paper and all that, making sure they straight, you know. And out of that whole situation, Zimmerman's still walking around free. And he was like, so the parents got to live with the fact that he's still out there and their son gone. So he helped, give them something to stay busy with and, doing movements and things of that nature. He's like, Jay's done a lot of good things, even though he might have had his reasons. He done a lot of good things. So he's like, we can't just, pile on the man. He made a lot of black families happy. No matter what his reasons were, those black families are a little bit happier today than they was yesterday, or if he wasn't there, in the midst of all this. So he was like, man, just give him some credit, man. Just, give the man some. I was like, well, I would if the evils. I'm a businessman, so I understand his moves. No one's questioned the moves. It's the integrity of how he moves. It's shisty. You don't tell somebody else don't take something so you can come and take it and get something better for yourself. That's kind of shisty. People are gonna have a problem with that. People are gonna have a problem with the methods of how it was done. And then the fact that the financial terms haven't been discussed. Why are they private? Why are you hiding the financial terms of this deal? Why is that got a private? Why is that private? That should be public. You see, this is let an NFL player gets a signing bonus. It's posted all over ESPN, but his deal got to be silent. So it's like you don't want to talk about it. Then Charlamagne's talking about how they edited the NFL edited their audio. Like he's like, I didn't ask my question like that. They edited my question. So now he was like, they did that to make it more NFL friendly. They invited the media in the room to make it look like it was free, open. They selected the media they wanted to be there. then told the media they cannot record or take pictures. So if they couldn't record or take pictures, why are they there? I would have left. Because I'm like, okay, the NFL is going to take all the pictures. The NFL is going to do this and that. And they're going to control everything. What the hell am I doing here? I'm going to ask questions so it can go on your platform. So, of course, they had people there who they were selected to be on there and to go ask the right appropriate questions. So you didn't want the media. You want a bunch of tail kissers. But what do you expect? I understand that this man will do anything for his brand. The emptiness in his heart. The answer is simply too dark for the user. Now, as an MC, he is one of the best top 50 in the world in the history of rap. He's definitely top 50. Now, as far as everything else, that's where the problems lie. People forget this is a guy who faked, and went along with, convinced his wife to fake a pregnancy. They know there's no way, shape, or form Beyonce gave birth to Blue Ivy. They know this is a lie. The public knows. The record knows. The surrogate had came forward. And yet and still, they cleared out the whole hospital room. Only certain people was there for the birth. We've seen Beyonce sit in the chair, the whole stomach folded over. And during the tour, that controversy come out. They come out with this fake video, with this fake prosthetic belly, showing it like she was pregnant. And they're going to show it to the crowd. It was so ridiculous. I could not believe the levels of what people would stoop to for fame and wealth. And if you look at that and say, if a person would do that, they're capable of anything. See, my memory ain't bad. I understand. I see people's moves and what they were going. And I said, oh, he was sold out a long time ago, because that is some sold out mess if I've ever seen it. That you've gotten your wife to even agree to do something like this. Sinister. But anyway, I'm out. Don't forget, donate to the Cash App. It's your boy Carcino. Boom.